We're talking about the Global Financial Literacy Survey that is now available to you. You can go online and see where we stand. 57% of you are literate. The other 43% are not. We are 14th out of 143 companies. Find out who is at the top and who is at the bottom. My guest, Talley Berry, joining us from Bangkok, Thailand, where he is teaching, among other things, the language and also the importance of financial literacy. And here in the studio with us, the director of the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center at George Washington University. Annamarie Lusardi is a rock star. She is leading the effort nationwide to make sure that we all become more financially literate. Talley talked about a survey. That kind of rang a bell with you, did it not?
Yes, very much. And I think he also talked about the fact that when you look at those who have the lowest level of financial literacy, these are people with the lower income, lower education. So these are vulnerable groups already. And that's why when we talk about, improving financial literacy, it has to be a very big effort that, includes firms, corporation, but also school and the government. And I have to say, also the individual. I just feel that now, this is becoming so important that our suggestion is everybody should ask for financial literacy. Parents should ask for financial literacy in the schools. We also need to take initiatives. We can't just stay there like hoping that financial literacy will be provided to us, in the school or in the workplace. We also need to be proactive and demand it.
And if you have any doubt about it, folks, I just ask you to review your experience in school. How much did you really learn about how our economy works, about what interest rates are, about the stock market, about all the things that you could be participating in if you know about them? But Talley, if you don't know about these things, if you've not learned about them, you're not likely to be involved, are you?
No, and you're not likely to pass it on to the next generation either.
Well, and I think that speaks volumes about the importance of what we just mentioned a few minutes ago, folks, about companies, major companies. Here we have academia saying, okay, this is important. Here we have PricewaterhouseCoopers, a major company, donating a tremendous amount of money to financial literacy. They get it, and I think a lot of other companies would too if they were asked to do it. And I think that ask is going to have to come from academics, and it's going to have to come from families, from you and me, demanding that our children be taught the very best of finance. I mean, that's where it's going to have to come. We're going to say, look, I want my kid to know a heck of a lot more than I ever knew. Okay, in school, when they come out, they have their diploma, they have their driver's license, and they have a full-fledged knowledge of how our system really works.
Well, Paul, when it comes to financial literacy, we really need a revolution. So a month ago in Beijing, China, we launched a financial literacy manifesto. And this manifesto is about the fact that everybody in every country now needs financial literacy. Mm-hmm. And we need to make sure that this is provided and everybody has access to that. And to make it more real, to make it more practical, what we have also done, we have created and engaged an international federation of finance museum. Places where people can go to learn about financial literacy in a fun way, like listening to your show.
Thank you.
And so these finance museums around the world have come together and have committed to really improve financial literacy in the countries where they are in, and to make sure that we can provide that access to everybody. So we really need to step up the effort for financial literacy.
And there's so many different ways to do it. What you're saying is that we've got to be creative in terms of getting, when you say financial, when I started doing the show, people said, what's your show about financial literacy? Their eyes glaze over. And I said, don't do that. Be involved. Learn what this is about. It's exciting because it opens up the doors for you to do a lot more than you're doing. So, get involved and understand it. And I think surveys like this are so important because it really kind of provokes us. And I'm going to ask both of this question: what surprised you the most, or disappointed you the most, or didn't? Talley, I know you went. You know what the survey showed. What were you most, excited about, or not excited about from the survey, the results of the survey?
Well, you know how important education is to me. One statistic that stood out was that the gap in financial literacy between those with a secondary high school education and those with a college education in America is 28%. And there's no other advanced economy that comes close to that. So clearly those at the top of the ladder are getting at least some of the skills they want, but those who aren't are falling behind. So that gap stood out to me.
Yeah, that's actually a very important one. Two things stood out to me, but I want to, in a sense, pick up on what Ali said, which is if you look at the young, very interestingly, in the kind of advanced economy, we see an inverted U shape, meaning, the young don't know as much, and then the older population knows more. In the developing countries, what we see instead is the young, which have the highest amount of knowledge. It is still lower than the advanced economy, but they are the one doing better. And this provides me some hope, that the young perhaps are now finding new ways to learn, and perhaps some countries are also investing in the young, and we should really do so. And that kind of contrast is quite interesting.
All right, when we get back, I know there's other things about that survey that you want to talk about, and we'll talk about that because it's important. We are in a global economy. That's the truth of it, and we've got to operate from that point of view. This is Home and Family Finance. I'm your host, Paul Berry. We'll be back more with Annamarie Lusardi and Talley Berry from Bangkok, Thailand.